Well, business is running well. We're constantly hovering around record production. The European trucks continue to contribute nicely. The Ford V6 petrol engine in North America is starting the next phase of its ramp, and so it will be a stronger contributor this year. And with the Nissan launch at the Detroit Auto Show, we're now in 4 of the 8 full-size pickups in North America, and that's always been one of our core targets. So production is running well, we're on track, and we're excited to break the 2 million engine equivalent milestone. The longer-term production is also good. We've had to weather a few dips in the global economy, but in 5 of the last 7 years, we've had double-digit growth, and our average compounded annual growth rate during that time has been approximately 20%. I'm also happy with our year-end quality results. We scored 97.5% in our 2014 customer quality feedback, and that's the highest score that we've had since we started the QF rating back in 2004. Installations are always important, and now we've had a good start with the Dongfeng installation in China in January, and we have other installation discussions ongoing, some of them at an advanced stage, so I'm really confident that we'll be able to add to the installation revenue during the year. So on all fronts, the business is going well and we're busy. And I'd like to put that into a fun perspective. I was with our technical director last week, and he said if we were to stop now, that his team would be busy for the rest of the year with installation commitments and training and our own internal product development. And of course, it wasn't a request from his side, it was just a statement of the loading on his team. And I want to be equally clear, we're not going to stop, we're going to keep pushing. The best way for SinterCast to grow is to add new foundries to the camp, and that's exactly what our focus is. The cash flow compared to 2013 was affected by 2 main items: the employee stock option program in 2013 and the change in working capital at the end of 2014. 2013 was the last year in our 4-year employee stock option program, and in the 4th quarter we issued 115,000 new shares at just over 50 crowns per share, and that gave a cash injection of 5.6 million after expenses, which provided a boost to the 2013 cash flow. The employee benefit of the program is treated as income, so SinterCast has to pay social costs on that, and the social costs were 2.25 million. So we accrued that amount in the 4th quarter of 2013, which again gave a boost to 2013, and we paid it out in the 1st quarter of 2014, which affected 2014 cash flow. So the summary is that 2013 was 5.6 million better for the share issue and 4.5 better for the social costs. And that explains 10 of the 15 million, and it's not at all related to the business. The other 5 million is mostly from changes in working capital. And it's natural that as we get busier, we're going to have more invoices, and so more invoices will be outstanding at year end. And even for the production invoices, they'll be at a higher amount because the production is higher. So that's just a normal thing that we'll live with as we grow. The difference is more about accounting than it is about the operation. If you want to compare the business, it's better to look at the cash flow from operations before the changes in working capital. And that grew from 8.1 million in 2013 to 10.9 million in 2014. And that's a 35% increase. So it's a good and clear progress, and it shows a strong growth in the company. The board decided to propose an ordinary dividend of 1.5 Swedish crowns per share and an extraordinary dividend of 0.7 crowns per share. The ordinary dividend is 25% higher than the proposal in 2013, and this continues our trend of increasing the ordinary dividend every year since we started back in 2011. The extraordinary dividend is a signal of the board's confidence in the financial position of the company, our strong liquidity, and the fact that we have no bank loans. So together, the total transfer to the shareholders will be 15.6 million, which is an 84% increase compared to 2013. The board's dividend policy states that the dividend will be primarily based on the cash flow from operations. And if we consider the period from 2010 to 2014, the cash flow from operations minus investments was 33 million. And the total ordinary dividend during that period was $23.9 million, so that represents 72% of the cash flow. And if we include the extraordinary dividend, which we gave in 2012 and we're proposing again for 2015, the total dividend during the period increases to $30.9 million, so still less than the total cash flow from operations. So as the business and the confidence has grown over the last 5 years, the board has proposed increasing dividends, all in agreement with the dividend policy, and the liquidity has grown nicely from around $40 million to $45 million. So we've been able to give back to the shareholders and still stay with a healthy cash box at the same time. Well, I agree, and I sympathize that patent counting isn't obvious. Patents last for 18 years, and as they get older, they often don't reflect the current technology. And so when it comes time to pay the fees for renewing in a country, we often decide not to pay the fees and just allow the patent to lapse. So the older patents are filed in fewer countries, and when we decrease from 3 to 2 to 1, we have less national phase applications. And of course, when we reduce from 1 to 0, then we lose that patent. So that's the explanation of the older patents. For the new patents, you start by filing an application in your home country, and we use Sweden, and that gives you one application in one country. And by the 1-year anniversary, you then have to decide what other countries to file in. And we typically choose about 11 countries, and those are the main foundry and automotive countries around the world. So with that as background, we started 2014 with 13 patents. We allowed 2 of the old ones to lapse down to 0, and we filed 1 new patent in December. So starting from 13, we went down 2 from the old ones, up 1 from the new patent, and therefore we finish at 12. At the same time, we filed 2 new applications in 2013. So they came to their 1-year anniversary in 2014, and we had to roll those out to other countries. So we went from Sweden to a total of 11 countries, so that was 10 more for each of them. So that increased our national phase applications by 20. And then, of course, we had the 2 old ones which lapsed. There were 3 other national phase renewals which we decided not to pay. So we ended up with a net increase of 15. And that explains the difference from 44 to 59. Now, of course, we had our new application in December of 2014. And when we come to December 2015, we'll have to roll that out to some new countries. So we can probably expect the number of applications, national phase applications, to increase to something like 69 at the end of 2015, and maybe a few will lapse, but it will be a growth from 59 into the high 60s this year.